there's two people that you actually have to say thank you to for that one.
Oh yeah.
It's you for editing it, and then Andy because he shot the whole damn thing.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rock and Road Show. I am Alvie.
I'm the 1-3, baby.
Coming to you from the casa de Alvie. Good to have everybody with us today. Sorry, we were talking about the intro and how much we love the intro, and we were just talking about how cool it came out and how much help we had with it from Andy.
And we did. We had a lot of
Skyview. I always screw it up. Skyview drone photography.
There you go.
I always want to say Sky Drone Photography or something.
What the hell?
Or Skyview Photography.
It's Skyview Drone.
Skyview Drone Photography. So anyhow, welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are back together again, which is a good thing. It's a good feeling. I do want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in last week and watched me turn into a blubbering fool. But I do appreciate everybody hanging out and all the kind words. I felt like it was a good spot to highlight a friend and a veteran, and being that it was Memorial Day, coming off Memorial Day, it just worked out. So, it's funny you were saying that you wish you could have been there for the show,
absolutely.
But I think it worked well without you there because it was just.
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying it was just raw, right? It was
good. Yeah, I know.
The one thing is that I wish I did have somebody to play off of was because those times when I needed to just not talk and do something kind of regroup or whatever.
Hey Jim, how's it going? HD, what's up, man?
Hey guys, what's going on? But yeah, so that was that. But no, anyways, so we're here. We've got a cool show for you tonight.
I think so.
We got two really interesting topics that are going to be like to get, especially on the second topic tonight, like to get some fan participation on that one and what your guys' thoughts are.
Well, actually, I'd like to get participation
all the time.
We like to.
But the second topic of tonight, I think a lot of people will have an opinion about it. So,
and I think our next show. What you mentioned earlier, we're not going to say it right now. I think that's going to be fun. You guys will enjoy this.
It'll be a lot of fun. So, all right, so let's do this. Let's pay the bills. Let's get the show moving so we can start having some fun tonight. So,
all right. So, as usual, we are brought to you by Misfit Metalworks. Misfit Metalworks offers CNC plasma cutting, welding, metal fabrication, and prototyping services, as well as laser engraving. You can contact the Misfits for all your metal needs at 813-598-7409 or stop by the shop at 1913 East Bears Avenue, Unit 1100 Bravo, Tampa, Florida 33613. Let them know the Rock and Road Show sent ya.
Also brought to you by our good friend Eric Warren Artistry and Dropkick Customs. Eric Warren Artistry is a custom paint and fabrication studio that specializes in turning all of your custom dreams into reality. EWA offers a one-stop shop for all your paint, metal and fiberglass needs, welding, full powder coating, motorcycle stereo equipment, air ride systems, custom wheels, and parts development with their Epic line. You can contact Eric Warren Artistry at 813-503-4764. You stop by the shop at 13215 North Nebraska Avenue, Suite A, Tampa, Florida 33612. Of course, let them know that we sent you. They're super busy. I just saw a post before we jumped on. They got a bunch of stuff going on in the shop. So if you want Eric to do anything for you, get on the list because he's a busy man right now.
You will be waiting.
He will, but it's
definitely worth it.
Definitely worth the wait for sure. And then last but certainly not least, we are brought to you by the Franhosh Law Group. The Franhosh Law Group provides legal representation for victims of negligence. They handle a broad range of personal injury and wrongful death matters, including car and truck accidents, motorcycle collisions, slip and fall injuries, and much more.
So for all your legal needs, please contact Franhosh at 866-LAW-FRAN or visit lawfran.com. Or you can stop by the offices at 1275 Nebraska Avenue in Palm Harbor, Florida, 34683. There again, let her know we sent you.
Absolutely. Garth, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining. All right. So the first topic we will talk about tonight is twofold. It's an interesting deal twofold, and the reason is because there's two kind of different deals going on with it. So for the fifth straight year, Indian Motorcycle and Jack Daniels have teamed up to create a limited edition Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse. This year's design was modeled after the Jack Daniels Gentleman Jack whiskey, and they only made 107 of them. On June 29th, so 19 days from now, 2 weeks from now, Ritchie Brothers, which is out there in Claremont, or just
Really?
south of Claremont.
Really?
Yeah.
Claremont.
You know when you're on I-4,
Yeah.
and you come up to I-4 and 27 to go to Claremont,
Right.
that big lot that's out there, that's Ritchie Brothers auction.
Oh, okay. It's the auction?
Yeah, Ritchie Brothers
Oh,
auctions.
my
They're the
gosh.
ones that are doing the auction.
Well, that is absolutely, yeah.
It'll be an online auction, but they are teaming up with Jack Daniels and Indian, and they're going to auction off the very first Gentleman Jack bike that was produced. So number 1 of 107, they're auctioning off.
Wow.
All proceeds from this are going to benefit the Armed Services YMCA's Operation Ride Home program. So coming off of a year of quarantines and travel restrictions, the program's mission of getting service members home to their families has taken on an even greater meaning. A quote from the YMCA guys saying that we are profoundly grateful to Jack Daniels, Indian Motorcycle, and Ritchie Brothers for making this auction possible. Our military families need and deserve a chance to go home, and the funds raised from this event will make that possible.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So the 2021 Roadmaster Dark Horse Gentleman, what's that?
I was just say while you're talking, I'm gonna throw some pictures.
Oh, okay. Because I have not seen this bike, by the way.
You have not.
I have not
All
seen
right.
this bike yet. So the Gentleman Jack will be sold unreserved in Ritchie Brothers. So if you put a $10 bid and that's what wins, that's what wins. It's unfortunate, but that's what wins. So anyway, the Southeast Regional Online Auction, June 29th is when it'll happen. Its whiskey pearl paint scheme and oakwood accents were inspired by Jack Daniels, the crafting process. It is a really cool color. I mean, I'm looking at it kind of when the light hits it, the pearls. It's pretty neat, man. The bike also includes Pathfinder adaptive LED headlights with the LED driving light.
Those are cool because those are the lights that track with the bike.
Right.
When you're turning,
they're
the light
adaptive.
moves.
They move a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it has what is it? Climate Command Rogue heated and cooled seats. So the seat has basically air conditioning. All right. So if you think about it, summertime, you're talking about sitting down on a hot seat, your butt will be cool. It's got one of a kind Montana Silversmith badge engraved with the bike's number 01 of 107. That's pretty neat, man. The Jack Daniels Operation Ride Home program began in 2011, and the partnership with the Armed Forces YMCA has generated a total of more than $1.8 million in donations. It's pretty cool, man. Mm-hmm. Those donations have sent 8,583 individual junior enlisted service members and their families home when it mattered most. Now, I can attest to the fact that junior service members don't normally get to go home because funding, it's hard.
Yeah,
man.
it's hard. I mean,
for
they don't
us
make a
young
lot
guys,
of
man.
money, and
Yeah, well, and that's what I was. I was an E3 when I got out.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike some people that were something or other, something I ain't gonna mention anyway. So, servicemen and women of the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard have been assisted to travel all 50 states. So, for more information about the Gentleman Jack motorcycle and or Ritchie Brothers Southeast Regional Auction, visit rbauction.com. There, put the link in there.
got it.
So, anyway, y'all got anything to say about that? Because that is really cool.
That bike is really so.
I didn't get to get any.
So I want
looks
to go
at
back to one here. So on this picture here, you can see the
Is that the
coin,
badge?
The badge. It's in between the heads, and it's Jack Daniels Gentleman Jack 001.
That's so cool.
The color on this bike is just phenomenal.
That is neat. Hey, Dan. Look, Dan from Leeds.
Daniel, what's up, buddy?
The Gentleman
the
Jack.
seat, I love the seat, man. The Jack Daniels script writing on it there. It's just it is a beautiful bike. The saddlebags
I like the colors. I have to say, I like the color.
Everything. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of this bike.
The only thing I don't like, I like the bike. The only thing I don't like is on the gas tank. It's got that name. And look right here, it's got this name on it. Now, if that said Can-Am,
Nah, come on. But I mean, no, it's a beautiful bike. It's got the 116 in it.
I'm not going to take anything from that.
It is a beautiful. Like I like on the front on the foot fairings they have the Gentleman Jack logo as well.
Right.
Just a beautiful bike. I think it is gonna bring in a freaking mint. It's gonna bring in a bunch of money.
I think it will.
I don't know off the top of my head. I think this bike, minus it being a one-off and a one-of-a-kind. Well, not really a one-of-a-kind, but a limited edition. I think that Roadmaster Dark Horse,
right?
That's like a $50,000-$60,000 bike.
Now,
it's not a cheap bike.
The Dark Horse what is that? I honestly don't know.
The Dark Horse. Dark Horse is kind of like the CVO of the Indian. I mean, that's kind of a really poor analogy, but it's kind of the way to think about it. Like the dark. So they have the chieftains and all that stuff, and then they have the Dark Horse, which are all the blacked out.
It's blacked out, obviously.
All that stuff. Yeah. So, but generally have the bigger engine in it and all that stuff. So they're
so
just.
I'm guessing you can't get the Dark Horse with chrome.
You might be able to. I don't know. But who wants chrome? I mean, really.
Not me. I don't want that. I hate chrome.
But no,
Daniel Hopkins wants chrome. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you can have it.
Yeah.
But no, the bike is beautiful. I think it'll raise a boatload of money and for an amazing cause too. I hope it makes more money just because of the cause that it's going to. As you were saying, enlisted personnel throughout the military. Let's rewind that. Junior enlisted personnel in the military. They don't make very much money. No. They're really terrible with their money. Yes,
they are.
And I mean, you think about it. You're talking about an 18, 19-year-old kid that doesn't know any damn.
Well, you know what I have.
They go to the car lot at the edge of the base and pay way too much money for a Corvette, and then they
buy here, pay here.
Yeah, and they end up with a 30.2% APR on their car and everything else. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a really cool deal. But the other thing too to think about is that organization or that program isn't because these guys and gals don't make enough money. It's really that program isn't set up so you can go see your parents for Christmas. It's set up for emergencies and things like that.
Yeah, no, it's set up for good
right. But I mean, but again too, like they were saying with the pandemic and everything else. Think about these guys and gals that have been like Army, for instance, that have been in Germany or Italy or whatever, and haven't been able to leave because they're under full-on quarantine.
Right.
They can't go see their family, which they normally would have gotten, leave somewhere in there to go home. So those are the kinds of things that I think is a really cool deal.
The biggest debate is the stock exhaust on the Indian are better than any aftermarket pipes, and I'm inclined to agree, shockingly. So Dan says that the stock exhaust is better than any aftermarket pipe. Is that the way I'm reading that?
That's the way I'm reading that too. Yeah. I had an epiphany when it comes to the difference between cars and bikes, but it's going to be a long thread to write, so bear with me. All right, we'll wait while that comes through. But yeah, I mean, Indian, great job. Those Jack Daniels bikes, they've done them, like this is the 5th year they've done them. Every single time they do them, they're beautiful bikes.
So I want to know if we can go see it.
I don't know where it's actually at. I think it's still.
Ritchie Brothers is going to have it at their.
They're not. From what I understood and when I read that article, it's still in Tennessee. Like I guess they keep it at the number one bike stays with Jack Daniels in Tennessee.
Only until it's sold.
Well, until it's sold, right? But
yeah.
But from what I understand, that bike is totally online auction. It's not a physical auction.
What do you bet? Someone up there gets 001 Jack Daniels or whatever. Unless they bought the very, very first one. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the understanding that this is the number one bike. This is.
Well, didn't they do? You said
They did 107 of them.
You said they've been doing.
Oh, you mean no? This is number one of this year's model.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying so.
You're saying that somebody at Jack Daniels has
the first one.
First year 001 bike.
Yes.
I'm sure. Yeah, for sure.
So yes, Garth.
A little thing there. Look,
no,
I've got chrome on my bike too, but I definitely like the blackout look. But I don't like the chrome because I don't like having to take care of it. That's why I got a matte bike. And that's why I got a matte colored bike, so I don't have to polish it or do anything.
My bike is matte color.
It wasn't originally. But yeah, that's why I got a matte bike, because I didn't want to have to polish it or do anything.
There's no shine on my bike right now.
No, there isn't. Poor thing. All right.
I ride my bike.
Yes, you do. You definitely do. Yeah, so great job to Indian and Jack Daniels. All right. The topic that I really wanted to get to tonight is this one. I know many of you guys have seen this. I know we talk incessantly about LiveWire, but I think it's always something that brings up different feelings with different people.
Yeah.
So LiveWire has become a brand, okay? Harley Davidson has doubled down on the electric motorcycle, and it's turned LiveWire into its own brand, as well as dedicated showrooms for the LiveWire. Harley said it plans to, quote unquote, redefine electric, delivering the best experience for the urban rider with personality and soul. LiveWire creates a unique connection between rider and vehicle. First of all, let's look at this quote from Jacques Zietz.
Okay.
Redefine electric. First of all, it's like, do you remember, who was it? I think it's the
Come on,
Gallagher. Okay,
right.
You remember Gallagher, the watermelons and all that shit? Okay,
the hammer,
he has a bit that he talks about the English language, and it's like, go, Geo, go, Dio, do, no, do, and he just goes through this whole thing. And
right.
And he talks about different phrases like new and improved. Well, is it new or is it improved? It can't be both, because if it's new, what did you improve upon? And if it's improved, then it's not new, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I'm getting at. Redefine electric. How are you redefining something that is brand new? The electric vehicle model is a new thing. You're not redefining it, right?
You are defining it.
You can be defining it, sure, right? So I have a problem with that one, right? Redefining electric. Delivering the best experience for the urban rider.
Okay.
So they're basically, I'll take this one with a grain of salt, because basically what they're saying is that the LiveWire is made for city driving. It is not meant for long hauls. So
yes.
I'll give you that. Okay?
That I can live with, yeah. And I after riding one, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the best experience for the urban rider with personality and soul. I don't like that.
No, the soul.
And then LiveWire creates a unique connection between rider and vehicle. I don't understand that. You've ridden it. Do you get a unique connection?
It's uncomfortable as hell.
Okay.
I mean, for me...
And they're fun. You said they're fun.
It's fun.
But
it is fun.
Would you consider it a unique connection?
No.
I don't know that I have a unique connection with my bike.
I have a connection to my bike.
I have a connection. If
it's my ass to the seat.
Yeah, well, if something happened to it, I'd be pissed. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a really poor.
But you know what? He's trying to bring things. He's trying to say, "Hey, look,
trying to come around.
Check this out, man."
For sure.
He's trying to bring attention to it, and it got you talking about it.
Well,
yep,
that did.
So
yes. Did you break this one down or no?
Did I break? Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay. So Jacques Zietz, the chairman, president, CEO of Harley Davidson, says that Harley is seizing the opportunity to lead and define the EV market. I will say that they were first on the scene.
Right.
They were the first people on
No, I didn't.
Gotcha. They were the first people on the scene with an EV motorcycle. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
There have been followers. I think the followers have done a better job with it, personally. But
Well,
here you have.
are they the first? I mean, they did it in '74. Yes, we know that.
No, I think they are the first production EV. The LiveWire was the first production electric motorcycle.
Because those other companies had some that came out. Quite honestly, some of them look really badass.
The Zero motorcycles are phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they're better.
Was that the Indian ones? Those are the Indian ones, right?
Zero?
Yeah. Which
no,
one?
Zero is Zero. Like it's
Zero.
It's a brand.
Right, ZER. But I mean, and I don't mean Indian as in Indian. I mean, the Indian as in the Indians from, was it West Indians? East Indians. East Indians.
What the hell are you talking about?
They have electric bike over there.
Oh, in
Made
India.
in India.
Oh,
Fuck. God's sakes.
like, what are you talking about, sir?
Indians.
Yeah, but we're
They have an electric bike.
I hear you.
Right?
Okay.
In India.
They probably do. Maybe.
We did a story on it. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
All right, so, I don't remember these things, but Jesus.
Yeah. When the fire starts, you'll have a unique collection, no doubt.
Dude, no shit.
For sure. All right. I think Daniel finished his deal. So let's read this real quick, and then we'll come back to the story. I found it and met senior firefighter who got the limited edition Jack Daniels Scout with the fire engine symbol. And while it's very unique, Pan American will supercharge the LiveWire with a great appeal for prospective buyers in the adventure market. The Pan American has got a great reputation in the UK. Yeah, I think it'll do phenomenal. The Pan American will do phenomenal in the UK.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no doubt about it. I mean, it's that
absolutely.
whole. It's got that whole Euro design, the Euro saddle, the way you sit on it.
I believe that's why they did put this in production.
Yeah.
And we do have a need for it here in the States. There are people that actually look for things like this, the V-Strom, the BMW.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
they're out there
Yeah.
and they want something. So Harley has responded.
Yeah.
And I do believe that it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good seller.
Harley's already in collaboration with a senior battery motor production company for the next series of LiveWires, but we'll be doing a variety. If class is moving to the next phase, it's going to be insane.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I mean, I know we talked about this in length before. Once batteries kind of get online and they're really well done, the EV market's going to go crazy. Garth's saying also the unique connection is probably where the fire started. Yes, that is for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm going to take the next part.
Yeah, go
here.
for it.
With the mission to be the most desirable.
Oh, super Dave, I love you, man. Did you see what Indian dot, not feather? Got it. Of glasses. I mean to say misspelled.
I'm gonna say I almost went there, but I was trying to be political. I was trying to be politically correct.
Super Dave just threw it out there and just said, nope.
No, fucking dot.
I love it. All right. Fire away, Grizzly.
I apologize. So I'm going to quote Zeitz again. It says, with the mission to be the most desirable electric motorcycle brand in the world, LiveWire will pioneer the future of motorcycling for the pursuit of urban adventure and beyond. So, there he is. He's pushing the urban. He is. Yeah. He's absolutely throwing it out there that this is going to be for town riding, not cross country. Maybe, you will go a little bit out, to the farmlands, the burbs a little bit and come back.
Yeah.
So he also says that LiveWire also plans to innovate and develop technology that will be applicable to Harley Davidson electric motorcycles in the future. So now hold on a second. Is this contradiction of terms here of things? Because he's saying that LiveWire, even though it is made by Harley Davidson, is its own brand. Yeah. Then he comes down here and says that the technology that they're going to innovate to Harley Davidson electric motorcycles, is it going to be a Harley Davidson motorcycle or is it going to be a LiveWire brand?
Yeah, I think it's kind of just a misspeak in a way because it's kind of like Buell, right? Remember when Buell was part of Harley Davidson? Buell was its own section, right? It was
right.
its own deal, but it was still a Harley. It was still a Harley Davidson.
It is. Yeah.
You still bought it from Harley Davidson. I don't remember. Maybe you remember. Did the Buells have any HD marking anywhere on them, or were they just all Buell?
I cannot say. I think it all said.
I think it all said Buell too. I don't remember if it did or not.
Even on the block, I think it was Buell.
And I know the LiveWire has the brand has its own logo, so I'm assuming that all of the future Harley Davidson electric motorcycles will all be LiveWire.
LiveWire with the brand
with that logo.
When you crank up,
right.
When you turn it on, push the little button, a display comes up with the bar and shield.
Yeah, and they'll probably change
that to okay.
And I imagine the LiveWire that we see today, that we know today, will stay the same, except all the badging and stuff is going to change. Super Dave's saying straight up Buell. So yeah.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah. Okay. So back onto this. Harley introduced the LiveWire in 2019. It's expanded to a standalone brand, which is really kind of cool. The first LiveWire branded motorcycle is planned to launch July 8th and premiere at the International Motorcycle Show on July 9th.
So they're running with this. LiveWire plans to be headquartered virtually, with hubs in Milwaukee and Silicon Valley. So of course Milwaukee makes sense because that's the home of HD, and
right.
then Silicon Valley makes sense just because of the the technology, and
California.
It's kind of the hub of, or the center of technology.
It's going to California, bro.
Right. Plus it's California. And then LiveWire also plans to have a dedicated showroom in select locations, also starting in California, which again is smart. It makes sense.
Absolutely.
The rebranding idea for LiveWire is part of a plan called Hardwire, which I think is a terrible name for a plan, but that's what they went with at Harley Davidson. So the plan Hardwire, which is designed to help Harley Davidson with its struggles over recent years of putting butts in seats, because the company posted a $96 million loss in the fourth quarter of 2020.
Woof.
Now, again, fourth quarter 2020, we're talking pandemic and everything else.
All kinds of crazy
Everybody
stuff.
had losses, but $96 million loss is huge. And revenue fell to $725 million, which was down 32% from the year before. Again, pandemic is part of those numbers, but that's shocking.
Yeah,
32% down.
That's crazy.
$96 million loss. Like, investors and stockholders are not happy.
No, they're jumping out windows.
They're not happy. Not happy.
So, Super Dave, that's normal. I just gotta say that's normal.
Yeah,
you just never see him.
You just never see it, but this is how it always is. High speed, low drag, baby. High speed, low drag. Dan, yes, Buell were supposed to be doing an unveiling with their new electric bikes, but they have stalled in terms of their production is not sure what's. That's interesting because we did a show about Buell, and Buell rebranded themselves,
yes,
and Buell's not part of it anymore because I guess he was hard to work with.
They kicked Buell out,
but it's funny that they're having problems coming to production with it. Charging stations need to be established everywhere before bike. Yeah, I mean, that's the same. Dan, that's the same problem we're having here in the States with just with EVs in general. Tesla's doing a really phenomenal job with putting charging stations across the country and everywhere.
They're all over
they're all over the place now. Our Wawa down the street has like 10 bays to charge.
Where did I see one? I saw one. It may have been on Facebook or something, but they had a charging station. Mm-hmm. And where it was in like kind of in the middle of a field with a generator next to it.
Oh, nice.
It had a big old generator next to it. And then it was flooded.
Really?
Like flooded.
Nice.
like someone did not do the drainage correctly.
They didn't think that one through.
No, they didn't grade it properly. It may have been after a hurricane, a storm or something. Yeah. But it was just kind of like one of those pictures where you go, ouch. Huh. Yeah. You remember that song, Things That Make You Go,
mm-hmm. COVID lockdown was a bad helper in that loss. Yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all know that Harley Davidson has struggled over the years with losses and downturns in numbers, while other companies are picking up,
Right,
and
so
gaining market share.
I'm sure Harley went from the 52% market.
Yeah.
They're probably down below 50 now.
I imagine they probably are. It'd be interesting to go back and look or try
that
to
would be
find
a
those
good
numbers.
one to come back.
Yeah. So the hardwire plan is as follows. All right. We already know that they're taking LiveWire and making its own brand, dedicated stores, and on online presence and all that stuff. So that's part of the hardwire plan. The other part is that Harley plans to make $190 million to $250 million a year in capital investments during the next 5 years, with a focus on touring, cruising, and the trike market. Which I said that was one of the things I said that they needed to do in order to turn Harley Davidson around, was to piss off with all the stupid stuff they were doing, get rid of all the little bikes, and focus on what makes Harley money and what people buy Harleys for, right? I'm not saying, I mean, of course, the guys that have their sporties love their sporties. Guys that have their Softails love their Softails.
Sporties are gone though, man.
Well, sporties are gone, but you look, I mean, think about the Softail line. How many bikes are in that Softail line?
Well,
there's like 10 that I can think of, right? You don't need that many. You can make a Softail, make one model, kick it out, and you're done, right?
It's a Softail.
Focus on what you guys do well, because we all know street glides, road glides, ultras.
The Road King even.
Road King's a good one too, and their trikes are phenomenal bikes. I think they're, personally, I love Indians, baggers and everything else, but I think Harley does the best job with those bikes, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I know everybody else has theirs, but that's my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
And in the third part of the plan, we talked about this a few months ago. They also plan to create a used bike program called the Harley Davidson Certified.
Yes.
And then they're also, which I think is kind of neat, they're also going to extend employee ownership to all 4,500 employees through an equity grant. So they're getting their employees into the business, so that you get, it's kind of
like Green Bay owning the Packers.
Yeah, you get that sense of ownership, so you work harder and you do the things that matter and can get out there. So,
but here's something, going to the LiveWire, I think they need to put that thing in a touring. Just do it one or two, a touring model.
I think we will see it. I don't think we'll see it in the next 5 years.
I think a custom bike builder is going to do it first.
It's possible, but you got to also think about it.
Eric Warren.
You got to also, but you got to also think in the sense of the only reason you don't do that is it's batteries, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna not everybody that owns a touring model is going on cross country trips. I'm one of those guys. I don't go on cross country trips. Not that I don't want to, I just don't. Right? But I like the fact that I can pull out of my house, go to the gas station, fill up, and then ride forever without having to worry about it, right? Like
you go 200 miles in the city, easy.
Yeah, or if you get on the high, I mean, hell, I can go from here to Daytona and spend 2 days in Daytona before I got to get gas again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's in Daytona, bebopping around and doing all kinds of goofy shit, right? But if you have a touring LiveWire, you probably aren't going to make it to Daytona.
True.
Maybe.
Well,
you'd be close.
Well, they're going to get, by the time, if they do it.
Well, and that's the thing. It'll happen. It's just not, it's going to take a while for that to happen. Because the battery's got to get better.
Right. You need they just don't have the
they don't have the capacity right now.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, you've got a Tesla that can do, I think the full on like extended range Tesla is doing almost 400 miles,
right?
380, 400 miles, but it's a car and it's lined with batteries. Like it's got batteries everywhere, right?
Yeah,
you can't do that on a bike.
Yeah,
and then also take the other side of that. If you're putting batteries on a touring model, where are you putting them?
They all have to be low.
They got to be low. So you're either going to put them somewhere on the frame or you're putting them in the bags, which then, well, why are you doing that? Now it's like It's like when those guys put those giant speakers and shit in their bags. It's like, well, now you don't have a bag.
Yeah, now you have nothing.
You can't.
But those are the guys that don't ride.
They don't. Yeah.
To tour. They ride to listen to their music, and they're not going to put their luggage and stuff like that.
Right.
Unlike me, I use my saddlebags. I got my gear in that bag.
Yeah,
I got some gear in that bag, and I got the leather bag on the seat behind me.
Mm-hmm. What may sound bad is 10 spots is not enough if you get a motorway load of cars, bikes. Yeah, no, it's not. But like I said, what we're seeing though is that Tesla's taking the lead on that, and to have us like right now in Florida having a Wawa with, and a Wawa's a gas station, by the way.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, Dan.
But to have a
Canadian.
a petrol station with 10 EV charging ports in Florida is fine because we don't have enough of them. Now, that same deal in California would be disastrous because there's a ton of Teslas out. I mean, shit.
Right.
When I was out in LA,
we have a lot of Teslas here, but just not.
We do have a lot, but
there.
they're not to the extent, right? When I was in LA a couple months ago, they have Tesla charging stations at hotels, and they have banks of them, like 20, 30 in the parking lots of these hotels. So the hotels have leased out their parking lot to Tesla so that they can put charging stations on.
Right.
Which is crazy.
And yeah, Dave, the batteries would go where the engine is. However, you still got an engine there. You have a motor that replaces.
Well, no, because the motors
engine.
are on the wheels.
In Tesla, yes.
You could do that on a bike, couldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You don't need a because if you put an engine, if you center mount an engine on a bike, you need a transmission to turn the wheel. So put the motors on the wheels.
Okay, talk to LiveWire.
I'm just. Is that not how they do it?
No,
Really?
It's the motor. See,
So they have a transmission in it then?
In essence, it's not really a transmission, but yes,
Interesting.
it's direct drive pretty much. But
right.
the way I looked at it, that big thing there in there, that's it.
That's
with
the
batteries.
motor.
With batteries, yeah. The battery I think was under the fuel tank.
Yeah, the battery because it's like you can pull it out.
And that's what was on fire that day.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Let's see.
There is lots of room to work with.
Solar panel need to be considered and integrated on vehicles.
I have seen that.
You know that's coming, man. I've seen some of that. I think again Tesla they have solar panels and stuff like that. We're talking it's coming. I mean it is. You got what Elon kind of pushed the market that way, and now people are starting to catch up with himself. With Elon.
Right.
The Long Way Down documentary need to be a watch. Worth. Yeah, they use we talked. I got to watch that series. That whole series, Long Way Around, Long Way Down,
have not watched,
Long Way Up.
Yeah.
I got to watch those because I haven't. I've seen bits and pieces of all of them, but I haven't watched it. I really need to do myself a favor. No tranny, not the one.
Well, you already drive a road.
Not that I want an e-bike, but it's coming.
Yeah, he already rides a Goldwing.
Hey, Sybil. Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
look,
Sybil.
I've told you this a million times over. I want a Tesla. I'd love to have a Tesla. They're the shit. I think they're awesome. To not have to drive your car is a phenomenal idea for me too. But
I'm tired.
But I don't know if I would want I don't know that I would want an electric bike. I think it's cool, but I don't like.
It's not going to drive itself.
No, it won't drive. I mean, and I wouldn't want it to drive itself because there's no point, right? The point of being on a motorcycle is to enjoy the ride and enjoy being outside, right?
The only thing that I tell you what I did enjoy when I was riding the LiveWire, I did enjoy the quietness, if you will, for just that little bit of a ride. I love listening to my exhaust. You know that.
Yeah.
I hit my exhaust, blah, blah. But it was like, wow, this is pretty quiet, and you could hear everything going on. And you could hear cars behind you. They had this was weird because there was a guy behind me that had a street glide, and he was jamming. When do you ever hear the bike behind you? You know, the music. You never hear the music. And I could hear him more clear than I could hear the guy in front. It was just like, what the hell?
Like, where's that coming from?
Pretty cool, man.
That key point you made there, Alvie, is that high-class hotels and limited businesses will cater their cars and bikes electric for that class of rider or driver. And there's the problem. This next generation of motoring is set for only the minted people who can afford them, then rather than the hardworking men and women who can have one as an all-around community. The stigma of only wealth can only do this is the price tag. Yeah,
True.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And the selling point. I need some water. I keep choking. The selling point for all these EVs is that there's no maintenance, right? So that they can, they charge you $100,000 for the car because you don't need to buy gas. So your fuel cost is going down. Your maintenance cost is cutting
right
half, 3/4, whatever. So that so you offset the cost of that vehicle with the zero fuel and then you get the kickbacks from the government and all that stuff. But I agree 100%. The fact of the matter is, we're talking about LiveWire. Yeah. The LiveWire at, what was it? 40,000?
30.
30? So 30?
25 to 30.
$30,000 motorcycle. I don't give a shit who you are. That's expensive.
That is an expensive.
Okay.
I mean, I would, and honestly, if I'm going to spend 30 grand on a bike,
I'm getting a CVO.
Well, that's 45, but yeah.
But no, I mean, if I'm spending that kind of money, I'm getting a CVO.
Yeah.
You better believe your ass. I'm not spending that kind of money on an EV.
No.
And to be honest with you, that's probably why I don't have a Tesla right now. Because and I've said, I had this exact conversation last night. We were talking about Teslas last night. I don't have one right now because I cannot justify
the money.
A $70,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
I just can't.
The money. Yeah.
And, could I do it? Probably. But it's like, I can't justify that. I can't.
You got a nice truck out there.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. I can't justify that cost. And it's a valid point. And something needs to happen.
We're sitting here talking about EVs. I picked Cindy up today from work so she could bring me back so I can get my bike and go to work. Long story. Mm-hmm. We were pulling out of her parking lot at the school, and she goes, "Oh, I think that's one of her teachers, a math teacher's car. It's an EV, either Charger or Challenger. Mm-hmm. It's an electric Challenger." I was like, "What? That's a waste. It's a waste of a car."
Really?
To me,
I didn't know they made one.
She said it's all EV.
Wow.
I was like, she goes, "Yeah, that's the electric Challenger or electric Charger," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean the other side of the coin is that those price tags will come down.
Yeah, they will come down. They will.
They're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be what we're looking at gas cars right now. They're never going to be that low, but they'll come down. But I also look at that when you're saying that. How the hell is a teacher affording something like that?
Doing his part.
Well,
that's what he says. But that's a muscle car.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, okay, yes.
Well, I mean,
but
the Tesla Sportster's pretty goddamn fast.
It is, and then it's got what is that?
Ludicrous
mode.
Yeah, no, dude. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know what you're saying. Teslas are fast. I'm sure that EV Charger is fast, but it's not a muscle car. A muscle car is all about, cylinders and freaking horsepower. Man. Right?
Like,
that's what it's about.
Gas, fuel, exhaust.
That's a muscle car. But we got rid of the muscle car a long time ago. We haven't had a true muscle car since, the 70s. No. 60s. Some 70s are okay. I mean, some of them are
70
okay.
came out with some really good ones, though.
Yeah. I look at them because I look at the Mustang, and I think the Mustangs that came out in the 70s were awful.
And you know what? I like the Mach 2.
Really? See, I don't like the Mach. I didn't like any of the Mach.
The fastback, I like the Mach 2. That was mine.
I'm a 60s I'm a 60s Mustang guy, and then I don't like the Mustang through the 70s and through the 80s, and then I'll pick up on the Mustang again in the 90s.
Right. I want to get back. Okay, so we get off the Mustang.
Little tangent.
So, I really want to talk real quick about Super Dave's ride Monday. It was a short put together a ride. It was an escort. And Dave, you're probably going to have to help me out here, but Friday they got called. Hey, I need you to escort. So Friday he puts it together. It went from here in the Tampa area, I think it was Bay Pines maybe, to Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah. From here to Georgia, escorting this guy. And I'm sorry, I forgot his name you told me. But let me tell you the dedication that these people have. Do you remember Monday? Pouring down rain.
Oh, yeah, I was here. Yeah.
Wet.
Yeah.
Windy.
Yeah.
Nasty stormy. And they escorted this gentleman from here to Georgia. And then they came back the same day.
Damn.
I mean, this was. Oh, the other thing. Yes, thank you. It was a Tuskegee.
Tuskegee.
Oh my gosh. Get all that.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee Airmen, and he was from. They took him from Gainesville to Mariana. So it was just like wow, 660 miles round trip, right? He says, keep going, I'll remember what it was.
They escorted this gentleman from here to Georgia, and then they came back the same day. I mean, this was 660 miles round trip.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That's wild.
And, I mean, I really would like to participate more, if I could. But, life, job gets in the way.
It's tough, man.
But I tell you what, the things, 20 motorcycle police escort, media all arranged over a weekend, a 2-day weekend.
Jesus.
Because Dave Allen,
you're the man,
are
dude.
the freaking man.
You're the man, dude.
Look, I just got legitimate duck bumps. I just wanted to throw it out there. Dave, you are the man. There's nothing else. Thank you for all you do and the CVMA.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I know that's kind of off of what we were talking about, EVs, but...
Well, no, but he looped it back in because he said, I would have loved to have a self-driving bike on our Monday escort.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, to wrap this whole thing up, the entry cost to EVs has to come down in order to get people on them. Going back to, just scroll that up for a minute. Going back to the words that they were saying, right? They're trying to mitigate their dismal performance in the motorcycle world,
right?
For a number of years, they're trying to mitigate this $96 million loss. I find it interesting that they plan to put in $190 to $250 million in capital investments. I don't exactly know where that comes from.
How are they doing that and trying to buy everybody's motorcycle? They're trying to buy my Harley.
Yeah,
Harley.
I don't know where the money. I just, that's the part of the business I don't understand. Maybe they're maybe
they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They probably have the money somewhere in there.
And I'm sure maybe I'm reading this wrong, but capital investment, they may be talking about investors and things like that to try and get stuff going. So so I don't know, man. I think, honestly, and this is my opinion about this, I think that Harley's decision to split LiveWire into its own brand is a safety measure more than it is anything else. Because now they can shed that product. It's not technically a Harley Davidson anymore because it's its own brand. So when and if it fails, they can just go and it's done. It's already written off. It's not under the Harley Davidson books. It's its own brand. It'll have its own accounting. It'll have its own everything. So I think it's more of a safety move for Harley Davidson than it is a business decision. It's a business decision. It's still a business decision, but I think it's more. It's a business decision more than it is a branding decision. Is my opinion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's better said that way.
Yeah.
It's instead of a branding thing. Like if they were to do this a few years back when they were like the king of the market.
Yeah.
Then they'd have probably kept.
Yeah. I think so.
They kept the LiveWire. I don't know. Hey, look what we got.
Yeah.
We got the LiveWire.
And again, I don't. Everybody will know that the LiveWire brand is a Harley Davidson, But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think that's kind of where they're going with that. Harley needs to take a leaf from their early series dirt bike, and they made it and do electric versions for the younger generation. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, Dan. And the only reason
I couldn't hear what.
I don't talking about technology, right? I don't know that I agree with that. I think they have their little e-bikes that they're making for kids.
Yeah, but I see where he's going with this. They did have dirt bikes in the past. Harley Davidson had dirt bikes, and
yeah. But, okay, let me ask you this: can a Harley?
It was a good dirt bike.
Could it compete with what we have now?
Like a KTM?
Yeah.
If they did that, if they obviously the 70s dirt bikes that Harley Davidson used to make, no.
Well, sure. Yeah, I understand that. But do you
But
think
they were
that Harley
heavy bikes for one thing. They were very heavy bikes, and then Honda, Yamaha, all these other bikes came out lighter. Mm-hmm. And that's what pushed the dirt bike industry. See you later.
Well, look, and then not only that, I'm also reading this saying, I don't want Harley Davidson to do anything different. Stop. Look, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and I've said this before. This is the way I think about this. Harley Davidson does not do themselves any favors by trying to get a younger market to their bike. I don't think they do. Look. The fact of the matter is this. Most young riders, not all, but most young riders aren't riding cruiser bikes. They're just not.
There is the few.
There's a few, but you're right. You're not going to make enough money on those few.
Correct.
And you're not going to make enough money bringing the younger generation into it because that's just not what they do. The younger generation in general is on crotch rockets.
Yes.
In general. Most guys, myself not included in this, my brother was one, most riders start on a crotch rocket. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then they make that transition. And they make that transition at different times in their lives, but generally speaking, they're older.
You're right. Generally speaking, when they make that transition, you're pushing late 30s, early 40s.
And the reason you're making that transition is because you've matured and you've grown up and you realize that doing wheelies and doing a $190 over the freaking Skyway Bridge and all the other stuff that you do is just not smart, right? So what I'm getting at, and I'll wrap this up and we'll shut it down. But the point I'm trying to make is Harley Davidson is already struggling to get people in the seats, right?
Right.
So stop trying to get people in the seats. Cater to the market you already have and the market that will continue to come to you. Because let's be real, Harley Davidson isn't losing customers. They're not losing anybody. We're aging out, but we're being replaced by younger, older riders, right?
Right. They're aging in.
They're aging in, right? So just take that market and keep that market. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Just do what you do. Yeah. And do it well. Just do what you do. Stop trying to cater to all these different markets. That's just my opinion. I think, like we said earlier, I think that the enduro bike, the Pan Am, I think it's a great idea. I think they can do a lot with that. And outside of that, I don't really think Harley Davidson needs to do much more.
You don't think they should do anything else?
That's just my opinion.
Well, that's cool. So there's a couple things that were going on when we were talking. Dave came in here. He wants us to go to a CVMA meeting, obviously. What is that? That's the class of bikes that he means that like now. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now's type.
Yeah.
And if they could do it, but I see your point. Why? There's no reason to do that.
Yeah.
They did it with with what they have now, the Pan Am. So let's see how that works. Mm-hmm. Let that go for a little while. And Dave, what is this? I think there should be a vote. You want to vote and poll? Maybe you can do a poll.
To ask the young generation what you would prefer if they can afford to make the choice. I'd be curious to see what they pick. Yeah, we could try and throw a poll out there. I don't. The problem is that our audience doesn't have a lot of younger writers. I'll still throw it out there and see what we can get, but in general, our audience is like 35 and older.
Maybe we can put it into Bay Area writers somehow.
Yeah, we could try something. I'll put something together and I'll throw it into a bunch of the groups that we're in and see what we can get about it.
And the problem is they aren't aging in; they're riding electric skateboards now. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot to that too. I don't look. I think what we've got to also realize is that we are different generations, right? We are vastly different. And the point I'm trying to make there is we, as a generation, our generation, we look at motorcycling as a hobby. Very few of us. I know you ride every day, and some guys do, but it's still a hobby.
It's not for me. It's not a lifestyle, if you will.
Right.
I mean, because honestly, I don't live it. I love my motorcycle.
Right.
I do anything. I go to bike shows. I go to bike events. Blah blah blah. But I don't consider myself in the lifestyle.
Right. Like you don't.
I'm not a club member.
Right. Well, you don't even have to be a club member, but you don't like.
I was meaning.
No, I know what you're saying, but no, but you're not a guy that has to be on his bike every day. No matter where you're going, you will always be on a bike.
Right.
Like that that's the thing. So we all look at it as a hobby. The next generation, they don't look at it as a hobby. It's not something that they even think about doing.
Right.
Now, to Dan's point, is it worth trying to get them on something to make them then think about it as being a hobby? There might be something there, but here's okay. I'll leave it at this, and we'll move on. But I'll leave it at this. Those Indian has it, and Harley Davidson has them. The little motorcycle, like little bikes that they have, right? Mm-hmm. It would be very interesting to look and see what the sales numbers are on those things, right? And not only sales numbers are one thing, but if there was a way to find out what the utilization number is as well, because generally the sale number is going to be higher than the utilization number, right? Meaning, dad goes, I got a boy, I want him on a bike, blah, 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 blah. He goes and he buys one for his boy. His boy rides it for 2 days and goes, I don't want to do this. And then that's it. And it never gets used again, right? Yeah. So that would be my like experiment, so to speak, would be how many of those little bikes that they're already selling are being used and kids are riding them and going from that to a dirt bike to, and moving up the line, right. The traditional line of people jumping on motorcycles.
But dude, I was 7 years old. We threw a Honda 50 between my legs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
7 years old.
And I mean, there's guys like Kim's one of her favorite, singers is Pink, married to Corey Hart, or is it Corey or Carrie? Mm-hmm. Corey, whatever. But
not the same Corey Hart that I'm thinking.
Motocross guy,
yeah,
like super motocross guy. Well, they have a boy. And he's little, but he's already on dirt bikes riding. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, he sees dad riding bikes, maybe. So the point is that you're not getting new riders. Your new riders are coming from families that ride. Right. You get my point?
It's like my daughter, prime example right there.
You're not going to the market and going, have you ever ridden a bike? No. Do you want to learn how to ride a bike? Here, try this and tell me if you like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like your riders that you're getting are coming from families that ride, or coming from a dad who has a bike, or a mom who has a bike, so forth and so on.
Well, I can say this. My daughter's boyfriend, Marvin, he said, yeah, I've never been interested in bikes, but, and I said, really? But? He goes, yeah. I said, so you'd like to learn to ride? Now, is that part of your point? Because now he's in a family?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's just, and...
But he never rode. Nobody in his family rode.
Yeah.
So, just
you
because
have to... I think you have to be... I think you have to be influenced in
By
a way. It's kind of like this. I became a pilot.
Right.
I don't have any family members of mine that are pilots, but I was influenced at a young age to airplanes. My dad was in the military. Every year when the Blue Angels came to town,
Right there.
we went to the air show. We walked around all the airplanes, and the bug was planted when I was freaking that big.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? Your surroundings or your environment kind of creates who you become, right?
True.
And and also helps push you in the direction of your hobbies and the things that you enjoy doing. So if you're never introduced to a motorcycle, and I don't think that you can be introduced to, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that you can just be introduced to a motorcycle by walking into a store and going, that looks cool, right? I've got a friend, we were at dinner last night, Kim's best friend's birthday, her husband was like, I love motorcycles. I think they're cool as shit. I would never ride one. He's like, I like them. He's like, I wish I could ride them. I wish I did want to ride them. But, I don't know. That's just, I'm going to paint myself into a corner.
Yeah, you do, but it's okay. I completely get it, and you're right. Nobody in my family ever rode. Okay?
Nor mine.
Well, I take that back. My dad had a motorcycle, but I was too young to remember it. Mm-hmm. And apparently I rode on it one time. I don't remember that. Mm-hmm. But when we moved to Florida, that's when a mini bike. Okay. Mm-hmm. We rode my friend Kim Summers, her mini bike first. Her dad had a Harley. He had an old, I think like a Road King or something. And in the saddlebags, he used to keep a bottle of Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill. Nice. And he had a straw, and he would drink it as he was riding. But that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
He was an old biker, good old biker type, So that's where I got my bike from somebody else, nobody in my family. And
yeah, I mean, my brother got me on bikes,
yeah.
so. And my brother's younger than me too, so it's even more interesting. Right?
That's a different story. See, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So, I think your logic is there, but it's not completely there because, you ride a motorcycle now.
Yeah.
Nobody in your family except your brother, who's younger than you.
Right. Valid point. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I had Dan saying it's more of a luxury in the UK.
Right.
I know what the bike generation is to the world now. Dave's saying it is that you ride. That's it. If you're surrounded by that motorcycle or engine wood of creation, that is what will spark interest. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to it, and I mean, there's people who go to school for years to learn how to target audiences and target people. And sales and all that stuff.
Sure.
And there's people way smarter than any of us in this conversation right now that are driving these decisions at these multi-million-dollar companies. So obviously, they've got something they've figured out, and they're going to go with it, and they're going to do what they do. And God bless them, because hopefully
that's why they make the decisions they make.
That's right.
That's why they made the Can-Am.
And I'm sure I'm sure there's some. I am probably 100% sure that that they've tested the market, they've done the things that they've done, market research and things like that to find out what people want. So who knows? We'll see but like we said, looks like Harley Davidson is going to focus heavily on touring, cruising, and trikes.
And that's good. Okay. Wow. So if you are in our area, that leaves you out, Dan, unless you want to come over here to the States. There is a mega poker run going on Saturday, July 17th. It starts at 10 a.m. Bert's Barracuda. Let me slide this over here. The poker run to win a 2006 Street Bob valued at $6,500 or $5,000 cash, but there's a caveat to that. So they have to sell enough tickets. That's all I'm going to say about it. Best poker hand wins either the cash or the motorcycle. Second place is $1,000, and third place is $500. Register online or the day of the event. We'll put the link in here somewhere.
I just tell everybody go to Full Throttle.
Go to Full Throttle Multimedia. Okay. It starts and ends at Burt's Barracuda. Registration is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. $40 for 3 hands. Well, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Last bike in by 6 p.m. Winners will be announced at 7. Like I said, the fine print: 300 hands have to be sold for the cash.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't sell 300 hands, sorry, buddy,
You get the bike.
but you're getting the bike.
You'd probably sell it for more than $5,000.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, I think I would sell it right away.
Probably. Or just take it back to them and go, hey, I want to trade this in.
Yeah, I would pay the taxes first. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So the event is rain or shine, cars, trucks, welcome, I mean, whatever you got.
The next event we'll talk about is the Fire and Iron event, August 28th, 2021, obviously. Lake Square Mall up in Leesburg. Registration's from 9:30 to 10:15. Kickstand's up at 10:30. It's $20 a person. The ride is police escorted over to Gator Harley Davidson. Live music by the White Buffalo from 11:30 to 3:30. And I said this last week, but White Buffalo is a really cool dude. Did a lot of songs on SOA, not the theme song, but did a lot of just songs that were in the show itself. Cool. Really, I saw an interview with the dude. Super laid back guy, interesting story, but really cool. And it's awesome that they have him there. But from 11:30 to 3:30, live music from the White Buffalo. Food is going to be provided by Firefighter Charity Alliance. A full bar is provided by the NAM Knights MC. There will be vendors, a silent auction, and a live auction, as well as a 50-50. All proceeds will benefit the Children's Burn Foundation of Florida. So if you're in the area, please come check it out. We will try to make that event just to help out our brothers and sisters over at Fire and Iron for sure.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least,
September 11th is the 20th anniversary memorial ride. Not our 20th anniversary, but it is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So it will be at Quaker Steak and Lube. Registration's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Kickstands up at 1 p.m. Last bike in at 6:30. $20 a rider, $10 per passenger, $10 for an extra hand. First place is $100, second place $50, and you get your money back if you get third. Trophies for all winners. All proceeds benefit Children's Burn Camp for Fire and Iron. We are still looking for vendors and sponsors. We have some verbal commitments from UAV. Very good. You spelled it correctly.
Yeah.
It's United American Veterans, for those that don't know. Wade Whiskey, Heartstrings for Heroes, Rider Now Magazine, Lady Phoenix Creations.
we do have a band. I don't know the band yet, but we do have a band secured for that event.
We do have
as well.
a band secured, that's right. So please help us beat last year's $8,000 donation. All right.
Alrighty.
That's us.
And that's the show for the evening, guys. Let's see. Just want to make sure we covered everything. Looks like we did. Dan, great show tonight. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
We do.
Thank you for your words and being on the show as well. We enjoy having a conversation with you. Super Dave, thanks for joining us tonight, man. It's always a pleasure. Everybody, thanks everybody.
Garth, I mean, come on, man.
Garth and HD.
And even those that didn't, I see them
everybody.
up there. But even those, if you didn't type into us, we were.
We definitely appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Don't forget, please like and share the video with your friends and family. If you didn't like it, share it anyways. It helps us out. You can also visit the Rocket Road Show on YouTube. All the videos that we make for the show get posted over to YouTube as well.
Yep.
If you could do us a favor, just go over there real quick to the Rocket Road Show on YouTube and just hit the like button over there or subscribe to it as well. Helps us out, help grow that channel. You can also go to the rockingroadshow.com. Rockingroadshow.com. There's a store on there. You can buy any of shirts.
T-shirts.
They have beer koozies, all kinds of stuff there. So you can go check that stuff out as well. And then last but certainly not least, we do have a Patreon. If you guys want to become a member of our Patreon, you can go to the website as well, rocketroadshow.com. There's a link to follow to go to the Patreon page as well. So other than that, man, that's the show for tonight.
That's the show,
everybody
man.
Throwing up the hearts and the likes. We love you guys. We appreciate that so much. We will be, I think I'll be here next week. Let me double check. I think I'm here next week. Yeah, I should be here next week. So we will be at the headquarters of the 1-3 bar next week. So come by and join us. We were talking about it before the show. We've got a fun and interesting idea for next week to have some fun with, and everybody will be. I think everybody will get a kick out of it, and everybody can have some fun with it. So
Yes.
So make sure you guys tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, man.
Coolio. You got anything else?
No, man.
All right, man. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys keep it rocking.
Keep the rubber side down, baby.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Peace.